Good morning, good morning. Welcome to week 7 of Organizational Development and Change. I hope you had a great week 6. Week 7, yes, we are up to Thanksgiving week. So the college is closed on Thursday, Friday, and Monday of week 8. So that's a little update there. But week 7 in our course, I have the learning objectives up here. If you see, we're going to understand why people react to change as they do by collecting data to understand individual situations and their responses. Rethink the language that we use. Considering employees as stakeholders and participants of the process, and encourage people to become change leaders. If you're looking in the book, you're going to see people respond to change in many ways. Some, believe it or not, some people really embrace change. I'm not going to say they love it, but they're not as negative about it as some people are very negative about it. I'm thinking of a situation years ago when my daughter's elementary school was closing. She had gone through, she started kindergarten there. For first grade, she was going to be going to another school. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not happy about it. So I wasn't loving it, per se. But I knew to embrace it because it was going to happen. So no matter how much I complained about it, it was happening. And I remember actually I was sitting out in front of the school, and the news came up, and they did an interview on me, and they interviewed me, and my perspective was, again, I'm not loving it, but it's going to happen, so we need to embrace it. And I had a friend who was mother of another child in the school, and she was just not, it was really the contrast of the two. She was not dealing with it well, and she was really just having negative feelings about it, and that is her right. That is how a lot of people react. I'm not saying every change I react to with that embracing feeling. So, as it says there in the objectives, understand why people react to change as they do, because we're going to react differently to each change in our life, depending on the level of change, the ambiguity involved in the change, whether it's change in our personal life, our professional life, our academic life. So the way you react to one change is going to can be very different from the way you're going to react to another change. So that is one of the things we're going to talk about, how people respond to change in many ways, why they do, the situations that cause it, different things like that. In the book, it also says change leaders need to rethink their assumptions about resistance to change, because employees often have good reason for resisting the change. So we need to hear why people are resisting the change. And there could be something underlying. I can't think of an example right now, but there could be something underlying that we don't really know about, and we might be thinking, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a little change. So as a change leader, you might need to reach out to somebody and find out more as to why they are so resistant to the change. Change leaders can rethink the language that they use. Again, where it says seeing the employees as participants in the change, not just telling them, this is the change, this is happening, live with it. Think of them as a participant in the process and encourage their dialogue. Encourage the dialogue between you as the change agent and the stakeholders in the change. Remember that people usually respond emotionally to change directives, and leaders need to prepare themselves for some emotion. From some people, you'll get a, okay, not happy about it, making do, dealing with it. But from others, there may be a lot more emotion. And it can be dependent on their involvement in the change, or as I mentioned, the situation, the type of change. that underlying condition. So be prepared for some emotion to be involved. So this is going to be definitely, the whole title chapter is Managing Recipients of Change and Influencing Internal Stakeholders. So we're really going to be talking about those people who are involved. The chapter goes on to say, not everyone sees change as a negative. Ambivalence to change, things along those. Some people are going to, it says here, ambivalent feelings in stakeholders. They can be useful. So really involve those stakeholders and try to understand their feelings, whether it be ambivalence or whether it be reluctance. Try to understand it. And maybe if you find out why somebody is being more ambivalent, you can use that to help them and to help other people. Another section is negative reactions to change. These can be helpful. Again, find out why there's the negative reaction. And maybe you can help that person. Or maybe if you talk to somebody and you find out why somebody is feeling negative, maybe that'll open up a door and this is why more people are feeling negative. And I can help this situation by doing blah, 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 something along those lines. But we're definitely talking about the people involved in the change, the stakeholders, as it says, involved in the change. So I want to go down here to materials and resources, and as always, we have our PowerPoints in here, some sources for you to look into to see how change can be, how you can work with the stakeholders to have a positive reaction to the change, or if not positive, help them in the adaptation of that change. Okay, so this week is really very much about the people, the stakeholders. Again, I hope you had a great week 6. Here's strategies for coping with change. I love this section in here. It actually gives you some strategies for helping people cope with the change. Just wanted to quick throw that in. I was paging through and I came across that one and I wanted to reiterate that. But again, welcome to week 7. If you are traveling to be with family, have safe travels for the holiday weekend. Enjoy the holiday weekend with the family. Whatever you're doing, I hope it's an amazing holiday weekend for you. And I will see you in week 8.